Let's talk about features for a little bit.
Always the top of your glasses should relate to the shape of your eyebrows. A long oval or drop earring or something like that, where there are curves in it, but it's not just round. We're not going round, round, round.
Let's talk about features for a little bit. So how do your features affect what you wear? For example, if I really love, I'm a feminine person and I really love feminine clothing and all those frills and things that you were talking about before, but I have really angular features. How do I balance that?
So this is where it's, like a floral doesn't have to always be a very curvy floral. Maybe what it is, it's a floral where the point of the petal is a sharper point. We can always create balance with features. So when we're thinking about our features, we're thinking about like the shape of our hair. Is it curly, wavy hair, so more curved yin lines? Is it straighter, more angled lines? Our eyebrows, like you can see the difference between yours and mine. Mine are much straighter. Yours are more curved. And that will influence things like the shape of glasses. So always the top of your glasses should relate to the shape of your eyebrows. Because
I just had to check.
it creates more balance there. We think about, the shape of your nose. Do I have a pointier nose or a more curved nose? Are my cheeks more round and appley, or are they kind of flatter, or are they more angled cheekbones? Is my jaw more curved? Are my lips more curved, or are they more straight? Or do I have a sharper, more angled jaw? So all these things come into our defining features. And our eyes, whether we have bigger, rounder eyes or, more almond-shaped eyes. And then that influences the details of everything that we wear. And most of us are a combination between curves and angles. You get some people who are very angular, and some people who are very curved, and then an awful lot of us have some curves and some angles. And so that's actually the best of both worlds. It makes it so much easier because it means we can pull from both. But we may not want to overdo the curves or overdo the angles. So if you have a very round face and round cheekbones, you probably don't want to wear really round button earrings, because then we're overdoing that feature. We're kind of starting to almost turn it into a cartoon. But what we could have is maybe a long oval or drop earring or something like that, where there are curves in it, but it's not just round. We're not going round, round, round all over. And if we have a more squarer, say, more angles, so you've got, say a more angled forehead, then maybe what we want to have is, squarer glasses, but they don't have to be really, really angled. They just could be, a soft square where there's still a little bit of curve, but it's not, putting a round glasses on someone who's very angled. What we see is the difference, and we notice the angles more versus when we go with the shape. So think about reminiscence, but not that kind of round caricature or cartoon version. That's when we get the most harmony.
So what if our personality doesn't fit the clothes that we like? So for example, maybe I'm a really classic person and everything I do is influenced by my classic view of the world. But I really like floaty feminine clothes, or I really like, dramatic clothes. How does that work if it just doesn't seem to fit?
I've never met anybody whose personality didn't fit what they liked, because it's personality that influences what they like. And also too is, just because you may have a core of classic doesn't mean you can't have dramatic and feminine as well.
Okay.
So this is where honestly, most people, what they do when they discover this is they go, no wonder I don't like that, or I do like that. I'm drawn to that and I'm not drawn to that, because now I'm seeing it. Also, sometimes it can be useful to get somebody who knows you well, like a very good friend or a partner, to go, well, what are the personality traits? How would you describe me? Because this is something I learned. I never thought I was intense. I've always thought I was very relaxed, but other people experience me as being intense. I thought, okay, so I must be intense. I don't see it in myself. And this is where too, we will often, when we're thinking about our own personality traits, we will compare ourselves to other people we know. So if we know someone who's at the extreme end of a trait, and you go, well, I'm not like that, so I can't be that. When in fact it's just but you may not be that opposite end. It could just be that you're a level down from that, so you're not experiencing yourself in the same way that other people still experience you to have that personality trait as well.
Well, it's very interesting. It's quite complex too. Just bringing it back into the jewellery, how does, and I think you've probably already answered this, but let's just wrap this topic up with how does your personality or your affect the jewellery that you choose?
So say if you are more classic, you are going to go at and that is where you get your jewellery from, because remember, we're all multi-layered. And so you may have a core of classic, for example, but your jewellery may come from feminine, or it may come from dramatic. It may come from another aspect of your style. So don't assume that your jewellery is where your core is. So this is where it's like looking at the jewellery you like the best. And then, so classic jewellery, just for example, it's tend to be minimal, low-key, real gems, traditional settings, is the way I think of it, but pretty low-key. Versus when we think about relaxed jewellery, because relaxed is very natural, it's easygoing, it's low fuss, low maintenance. Often these people either don't wear any jewellery, can't be bothered, or they like things made from natural materials. So like a polished, turquoise rather than a cut diamond. Or wooden beads, or coral, or maybe it's glass found on the beach. That sort of like materials, natural, more organic, and not fussy in any way. Then we've got our dramatic. So dramatic tends to be big and bold. So it can be any style, but it's bigger, it's bolder. It might be a bright colour. It might be a larger scale. It's definitely noticeable. A statement necklace, a statement, ring, all that sort of stuff, much more dramatic. We think about our creative. Our creative is more whimsical, more quirky, more different. So this is where it could be, I found something on the ground and I turned it into a piece of jewellery. Like it's that, or it's something that's handmade, that's unique, that's different. They'll never go to your standard, mall jewellery shop to buy jewellery. They will be going to a gallery or finding an artisan somewhere who makes things, and they might want things that are bespoke, and they might make things themselves. We've got our more feminine. So our more feminine really goes for the small, delicate, but often more bling, so lots of little sparkly things, curly, curvy details. So often it's more small elements that make up a larger piece rather than one large piece that may be more dramatic. And things like, you may get pearls, but you also get those kind of feminine shapes like love hearts, like that you're wearing. We've got that kind of love heart shape, is a very feminine shape. And then we've got our elegant chic, which is often I think about as, like you get like a real gem, but in a more modern setting. So it might be massive pearls on a leather thong or something like that, where, but it's strands and strands of them, like, or, it's something, or it's one massive big pearl, or, something that's kind of, it's got a bit more drama, but it's still a bit more traditional in a way. And so this is where, and we may have a variety of different things, but often it's where some people go, I like that jewellery and I don't like that. And it's often down to personality.
Yes, it is. It's quite a big choice.
Yeah.
So just to recap, can you just go through the personality types? Because we haven't actually talked about that yet.
So there's kind of like, there's our classic, so our more traditional, our relaxed, so more natural, easygoing, our dramatic, so bold, wants to be noticed, creative, more quirky, more individual, feminine, more, feminine, soft, elegant chic, which is our more, I think of this as more princess style, more sophisticated. And then I actually didn't even mention the rebellious, which is, it's the nobody can tell me what I can wear. And you'll often see with the rebellious small things like skull motifs or tattoo style pieces and patterns, and studs, metalware. Think about the goth, the punk, the rock chick. That's often where we get our more rebellious kind of elements and details.
I did a trends for 2023 video earlier this year, and one of the trends obviously this year is punk. And I have had so many comments from the women who watch my channel, or the people who watch my channel, saying, I'm not into punk. You'll never get me wearing punk. And it's very appropriate for my audience that they would say that. So that was really interesting. Now, if you can't decide what personality style you are, Imogen has a course on how to do that, and so as I said, I will leave you a link in the description box for Imogen's website with her courses on it. Now, Imogen has kindly offered that if you sign up for one of her courses using the link in the description box below, she will give you 2 free courses. So that is a pretty cool deal. The courses that she is going to give you are an outfit masterclass, and that is valued at $47, and an online shopping guide. That one's valued at $97, so worth taking advantage of that. I think we've exhausted personality.
It's all good.
Thank you so much, Imogen, and we're moving on next to body shape. So I will leave a link for that video when it's ready up here, and we'll see you again soon.